tea. The milkman, the paper boy, evening TV. Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, there's a face of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, when you're lost out there.
Bringing JJ Knight in for questioning.
You recognize this?
Statistics.
Tool.
And we are conducting a survey. No, study.
Study? Yeah, I like that.
We don't need to say the study.
No, we do need to say.
Oh, no, we don't, because then it will skew the data.
True. I agree with that.
Okay.
Just say, hello.
Do you know what you're saying? Does he know what he's saying?
States, and I'm going to ask you 3 states to shade in, like locate the 3 states. It can be in the, you do not have to put your name on it or write your gender.
Hey, say right. Don't put your name on it. I mean, we're not stopping you, but.
How's that?
All right, hey.
So, as you can see, they're about to do the survey. I'm going to ask them in a quick second which states.
First letter of the state corresponding to what it is. Okay, please. That'll mess up our data.
Yeah, thank you too.
Struggling?
Is that not Wyoming?
Skewing the data.
Blank map. Current female. Blank map. Okay, here. This is Dude, don't show. Yeah, don't
Safe.
show it, man. Got our results here, Ty, you know.
First class done?
We're out here in Amish. I'm scared. You coming?
Should we give one to Drew?
Hey, Drew. Hi, we are from AP Statistics. We are doing a study. So in a moment, I'm going to give you a blank map of the United States. Okay. I'm going to ask you guys to locate 3 states. I'll tell you the states in a second. You do not have to put your name on it. Wait, not the thing. You don't have to put your name on it, but just write which gender you identify with.
Oh.
Is that okay?
Okay.
Right now we're handing out the papers. People are a little nervous, but you know what? I told them to try their best. I said no stress. I said they don't have to put their name on it, but if they put their gender, that's okay.
Okay, second state, Alabama. No cheating, no cheating.
Wait, stop
No cheating.
Competition.
Yeah, it's my piece of the data. Man. We don't like
Go,
that.
Jeffrey, here's the competition.
Can we go into theirs right
Round 1. Fight.
We are from AP Statistics. We're doing a study. So in a moment, I'm going to give you guys a blank map of the United States. All right, they're going to pass them out. Okay. I'm going to tell you to locate 3 states. I'll say the states in a second. Okay.
No cheating! No cheating!
No.
Matt, watch out.
Hey!
Hey, what we got?
There's 3 rules. You do not have to put your name on it.
No, don't put your name on it.
Do not put your name on it, but please put what gender you identify with on it. No name, but gender. In the front.
On the front, on the back, right?
Okay.
All right.
Build the dam. Okay, the 3 states are Vermont, Alabama, and Wyoming.
Okay, no cheating.
No cheating. No cheating.
Got a pen in class.
Put a V where Vermont is.
When you're done, just hold it on me. Say that again.
Put a V where Vermont is.
The data speaks for itself.
We got fat facts.
Speaks for itself.
What do you think, Moy? What? 27th classroom.
In a moment, I'm going to give you guys a blank map of the United States.
It's geography, relax.
You do not put your name on it, but put what gender you identify with on it. Okay, so hand them out real quick.
On our 77th classroom. Staying hydrated.
Bringing JJ Knight in for questioning.
You recognize this?
Ah, yes, my manifesto.
What type of test did you run?
In order to see if there was an association between gender and U.S. geographical knowledge, we decided to conduct a chi-squared test of association between males and females at Granada High School.
What were your hypotheses and how did you check the conditions?
My null hypothesis was that there is no association between gender and geographical knowledge of the United States. My alternative, however, was that there is some association between gender and geographical knowledge of the United States. I think it's important to point out I used a significance level of 5%. Conditions. Although the actual data is not an SRS, but it is a cluster, the classes, however, are an SRS. Since the actual data isn't an SRS, we must proceed with caution. All of the expected values are over 5, verifying the fact that the data satisfies both conditions, that all values must be over 1 and 80% of the values are over 5.
Can you read this right here for us? How did you collect your data?
We figured the easiest way to get data from classes that would yield results from students of multiple grade levels was to SRS all classes with a 4th period. After assigning all classes a 3-digit number, we ran randant and took the first 4 classes that the calculator gave us. No repeats. The selected classes were Mrs. Graham, Dreef, Bear, and Rankin. We then took a cluster sample of all the selected classes, surveying all students in each of the 4 classes. After sampling the 4 classes, we found that only 75% of our values were over 5. So we had to sample another class. So we used the same random digit assignments. Reran random, and the first given digit was that corresponding to Mr. Bynum. So we cluster sampled his class and then summarized all of the data from the first 5 classes in this table. The 3 states chosen were Wyoming, Alabama, and Vermont, which were selected in a similar manner as the classes, assigning digits 00 to 49 to each state and using the first 3 selected with random.
What was your p-value and what did you conclude?
Since our p-value of 0.983 is greater than our significance level of 5%, we fail to reject our null hypothesis. We therefore have insufficient evidence to believe that there is an association between gender and geographical knowledge of the United States.
How can you extend it to a broader population?
Being that our study was conducted only at Granada, our population data is limited to people approximately in the 13 to 19 age range, so it really only applies to teenage males and females. If we wanted to extend it to a broader population of Livermore, males and females, we could have asked for permission to attend a city council meeting where there are males and females in high quantities, and could have included them in our study in order to make our population the male and female populations of Livermore rather than Granada High School. Based on what we were able to do on campus, our data accurately reflects the geographical knowledge of Granada High School male and female students. and we can conclude that there is no association between gender and geographical knowledge.
Did you run into any troubles or have any bias or any of that?
So some lurking variables we came across were peer cheating, I would say. We gave clear instruction not to cheat, but however, there were a few students that did not abide by the rules, so we must acknowledge that.
So say you were to carry this out again, what would you do differently?
If we were to redo the study, we could have planned it to go a lot more smoothly. What we mean is the surveys would have ran a lot smoother if the students taking them were not all in one room. It would have taken a lot more time, but if we had inquired with teachers if we could pull students out of their classes individually and have them take the surveys by themselves, it would have eliminated the lurking variables of cheating and peer influence, which could have led to more reliable results, as every person's answers would have been based purely on their own knowledge and not their peers.
Who was your accomplice in this atrocity?
Substitute Gustav.
We have all the evidence we need.
Elmo came with the AK-47.